Greetings, mortals. I am Nathas, the ruler of the underworld. And today we'll be talking about a relatively new manga that technically has come out 2 months ago, but it's a monthly release, so chapters come out every month, so it takes a bit of a while for the chapters. And that series is, of course, the new series that the author of One Punch Man 1 has written, and that is Versus. And I absolutely love Versus. Granted, it's only 3 chapters so far, and you could probably make a case it's more like a very good start, but how will it play out? And there are a couple of problems I have for this series that I will address later. But needless to say is, for the new series that came out recently, I would say this is clearly my favorite because it has everything that I ever asked for. It has a bunch of different designs of characters with a very chaotic yet interesting storyline that pretty much anything goes with it, and just the stakes in it. Like this series, I feel like has some of the highest and the most well-established stakes that any series has had. If it's gonna remain, we will have to wait and see. But needless to say, so far it's great. It's not the best manga ever, but it's only just came out, and right now everything looks very good for it. So yeah, what the Versus series is about. So the Versus series was originally, or I believe it was actually, the description of the series came out a while back, and the description was something like 47 heroes versus 47 demons. There will be a battle royale or battle tournament, and that was the original concept. Now this concept either has been altered, misleading to the actual what it actually was, or was just describing the first chapter. Because while there are 47 demons and heroes, they are only really a thing for the first chapter, even they get finished relatively quickly. With a good chunk of the 47 apparently already being that. I mean, it's not confirmed. In fact, we only get like one paper that states some heroes, one of which may come back later, but we'll have to wait and see. Well, two, but again, we'll wait and see if being defeated or wiped out. While being said, there are some other heroes that had the same thing happening to them. But yeah, they are not looking good. And then we have the main character, Hollow, who is an amazingly different character from a lot of other series when it comes to the protagonist. Because one thing is, Hollow isn't anything particularly overpowered. Like, he's not weak, but he isn't like, he is the main character, but he doesn't exactly have like the over the top personality, the dumbass, or anything like that. He doesn't have the tropes that every main character has. He just wants to be the hero to do his job, and wants to save the world from demons. But unfortunately, the reality of the situation is the demons are simply more powerful. And that's well established in the first chapter, where the demon kings, not one of them is defeated by any of the heroes, which you think might lead into a situation with, him being the only one that can defeat all of them. But nope, even he going up against his own demon king is completely and utterly obliterated. His comrades that come with him, they get killed in like pins. I want to exaggerate, not exaggerate, but they die in 10 seconds. One at least gets killed by an attack, but the other two literally just get killed by the presence of the demon king. So it's a really nice kind of showing. Especially it's a very interesting showing because one's manga series are usually the capped being even amongst overpowered protagonists being extremely overpowered from the very get-go. Because it's definitely a very good going in a different direction from his usual writing style, which is a very good thing that that mangakas try to do that from time to time, or writers in general. So after he gets defeated by the Demon King, he meets his brother, and his brother explains to him that the heroes going up against the Demon Kings, that was actually just something that was made. That was actually just a distraction to the Demon Army. It wasn't supposed to have worked, or no one was expected to actually work, which kind of makes you question even more that meme about how the king should have sent all of the heroes against one demon king instead of having them all split up. Like, then that work. But from what we've seen, it would have worked regardless. Especially since we've seen one of the commanders later as well, and that guy is also not exactly a scrub, if you know what I mean. So yeah, we have him explaining that the real plan was to get all the magic spellcasters to go around the world and create portals to bring people from those worlds that can defeat the enemies. And it did sort of work, because the first world that we see and the one that they bring out is basically Doom, or the way, like, you have those kind of characters, or Red versus Blue, you have those. That's kind of things they're going for, and they immediately destroy the soldiers the Demon King was using. Soldiers that the soldiers there were barely able to, like, I guess they were able to damage them, but they weren't doing anything major. But those guys are made with guns, just blast them to smithereens. Which also kind of pays off the whole joke about when you realize in this world a normal gun would probably be more effective than Flash's superpowers, which is kind of what's going on here. But even these guys who come from a different dimension need help. In fact, their leader, Carla, I'm gonna say is gonna be the main female lead for the series, also asks them immediately when they show up, please help us against our enemy. And alright, one thing I do have to mention is the fact that I don't know how much the series is when it comes to translations, because chapters I feel like give chapters different names, and there's some dialogue that feels like none of them say yes. Like, for example, Carla will at the end ask for help, and chapter one ask for help, and then the next chapter she'll be acting like they said yes to it, even though none of them even remotely. Hell, two of them were trying to. Zach, the big brother of the main character, and the mascot character, will just try to be like, oh, they just must be speaking different language. Oh, that's gonna be different. Probably the opposite thing, right? That's what's actually going on here. So I do wonder. No criticizing the translator. They do amazing work, and we have to appreciate them, because let's be real here. We all want to read that, and this is an interesting story. So all the compliments to the translator, but it does seem like a few things are not, aren't good one to one. I'm assuming maybe it's gonna be better in the volume releases. Maybe it's a Japanese writing thing. Some of those mistakes just happen, similar to how Zoro will be Zoro in the official English translations, when the fan made ones have Zoro and all that, even though it's supposed to be Zoro. So yeah, I think it's probably something like that. There's just in here. But again, all the compliments to the translator, all appreciation goes towards them. There's a whole issue on Reddit about one guy being happy that the chapter 3 was out, so I just feel like I have to clarify just so no one's gonna be angry at me in the comments for something so stupid that we both agree on anyways. Yes. But yeah, we have that, and they are kind of sitting down, kind of talking about what's going on exactly, and they tell that their enemies are not demons, but are actually robots, but that are attacking them and fighting. So it's basically Doom like characters up against machines. And we get to see them, and they have very kind of interesting designs for it. Like, they don't have like the Terminator kind of machinery or something. They have more like this. They want to kind of look friendly, so they can lure you out and help you, while in reality they want to kill you. And we see that these guys, their weaponry is being shot at those robots when they find them, but it doesn't work. But then we have the spellcasters going up against them, and it does work. Now, the thing is, even though this is established here that switching these characters around might be effective, we immediately get shown that even though it is true that the Doom guys up against demons more effective than sorcerers against demons, and sorcerers against machines are more effective than Doom guys versus robots. We unfortunately see that the demons, the stronger ones, the commanders, and depending on how we're gonna get the systems, maybe even lower ranks, all we know is that there's a king that follows the supreme king and a commander that may be or may not be the right hand of the demon king. Well, of the demon kings. Immediately show up and he just bitch slaps them. Like it's no issue. Like they were blasting and that guy who's getting killed by that commander even was making fun of him. Whoa, these guys are legit just lining up for us to kill us. These guys should be like our practice dummies. But that guy Amir just comes and boom, like I think just crushes his hat. So yeah, this guy shows up and the guy is a bit curious about the weaponry, but he can handle it easily. It's not really an effort. It's like, yeah, it's more effective, but against someone who's actually extremely powerful, you might as well just be magic casters, honestly. And then and then similar to where you have robots who get a robot that's able to kind of develop something that is able to block magic or remove the issue from it, who I'm not certain it's supposed to be the leader robot or like one of the major robots, or it's just supposed to be like a more advanced and a better adapting robot kind of opponent. And, and while the other robots were able to like kind of, get back, they were, kind of, they were kind of still struggling. Well, that robot, I mean, he was able to counter the electric attacks, well, spells. So yeah. And then, in the meantime, when this is all going on, and we see just how hopeless it is, like they are being wiped out, honestly. We see Hollow, who's just kind of like standing there because he's like still beaten. He lost his arm against the Demon King, and then there's this guy who's trying to like make a circle so they can all escape. And while he's doing that, he realizes that they are fucking screwed. Like shit, what can we do? So he goes up against. So he blocks. Well, he first blocks our truck that the Doom guys was sending, which that demon commander was able to just extend his army. It was the classic handsome, pretty boy character, but then he's actually transforms into a monster thing. So he transforms his into bigger, and then just kind of toys with a giant truck, throws it up and down, and then throw it back. But he's able to, the color is able to appear in front of Kala as then he activates his holy sword kind of thing that has this like thing with it gets its new blade depending on how much of the spirit the wielder has. And how a while he was kind of like despairing before. In fact, that's like a big thing in the first chapter. The fact that when all of his comets were defeated and his arm was ripped off or and his blade was sliced, he kind of just fall into despair and knees. But here he's like determined, and he's able to activate it this holy light makes it back big. But it seems like the swords aren't actually all that complete because I was like, wait, that's not gonna work because the weapon is deactivated, or maybe because Hollow is still scared of demons because of all what's happened with the Yachi. That's I think the name of the demon killer he's going up against. So yeah, it doesn't work. But even though he's scared against the demons, when the demon commander is going to strike him, Hollow then throws his blade towards the robots and challenges them as well. Basically to like basically to distract all the main forces to go attack him. But luck is this. It's dumb because he can't do anything. Like it's pretty clear. Hollow up against those two, he's fucking dead. Like he can't do shit. But luckily, it distracts them long enough because the demons are also enemies by by a robot's functional systems, and they kind of like they sort of start attacking one another, but not like really yet. Just enough for the sorcerer guy to finish the spell, and all the characters go away. While the demon tries to stop Hollow from escaping because that was sent to kill him just to be confirmed that he's dead. But unfortunately, well, fortunately for the heroes, the robot doesn't tell the difference between, not really friend, more like mutual agreement, which is how the demon commander actually viewed it. Like, well, I have no idea what they are, so but they seem to be attacking humans just like we are, so we'll leave them alone. But this robot was attacking him because he's organic. He may be a demon, but he's organic. So he blasts his hand off, and this pisses the command off, and they just both transform, which is a cool panel with both of them are transforming, and they just go into clash mode. Not sure how that's gonna resolve itself, but instead they just go clashing. And then the heroes are able to escape with Hollow passing out. Then a couple of, I think half a day later, Hollow wakes up and basically it's like, oh shit, not only do we have to deal with demons, we also have these robots. And that's not it, because Zack is there to tell us, oh no, it wasn't just Kala's world that has been summoned here. It's also been a bunch of others. Now, there's some debate if this is gonna mean there's gonna be 47 worlds that are gonna have 47 human forces and 47 demon forces. Well, not natural enemy forces, which is a big thing in the first chapter as well, where they mention like natural enemies, and it's always blank when it comes to humans. Like frogs, natural enemy, snakes. Uh, I think bugs, natural enemy, birds. Humans, always blank, which we'll get into that later in a bit. As we get to see this panel where we see a bunch of random characters. We see see like something that looks like caveman, but I feel like they're even bigger than caveman, so I assume we could get dinosaurs in there, or maybe kaijus. I mean, we know kaijus are in there. Like, that's confirmed in the first chapter. There are indeed kaijus. We get something that either looks like spy or superheroes. Verdict is still out on them. Then we get some that look more like normal modern society. Then we see a couple who are just beaten and bandaged. I'm not sure what's up with them, and it's kind of all over the place when it comes to character designs. So, yeah. Now, the third chapter is kind of what the heroes are planning doing right now, as we see them traveling to a different place, or I think it was said to be the same area as they were before, just I guess trying to get to see how everything is kind of progressing, maybe to see how the result of the battle. But all they see is that the world has even more changed because there are even more worlds now kind of colliding with one another. Like previously, it was just medieval plus science fiction, but now it's like modern society plus overgrown forests and all that's kind of chaotic. And while they're at there, they're also going around to find other survivors. And the group consists of Zack because he's the, I guess, strongest sorcerer in that castle. Again, it's unclear how many people are there yet still. Then Kala and two of her guys, and Hollow also wants to go because he's a hero who trained for years to be able to defeat the Nemekins. Otherwise he's useless. Like, I'm literally useless here. But Zack and Kala both agree, yeah, he can come along. I mean, he's powerful. And judging by the looks of it, he still might be the strongest human that's there. It's just difficult to say because all the best feat of strength that we see so far is that there's this giant, like, I think he kind of trolls some kind of creature that kind of resembles Bakuza, honestly. There's one that dark style martial artist from One Punch Man who goes there to like crush him, but Hollow, even with just one arm, he might get a replacement later. We don't. It's still up in the air for that. He's still able to like hold that. He's not like bleeding or anything. He's just like, oh, this is strong. How even the troll's surprised, like, oh, you can still stand. So yeah, Hollow not again. It's established that Hollow's not weak, but he can't really do much. So they then see that that troll wasn't just eating humans because he was kind of humanoid shape, and demons and robots are clean. Those are more differently shaped. While this troll guy looked humanoid shaped. I mean, it was clear that he wasn't. He was too big. Although to be fair, even the cavemen looked pretty big for humans. But he was. But there was also a family there. They go there and rescue them and run. And they were going back the way they were. Now the thing is that before they got to the troll, there were also these like giant, I want to say giant monster moles kind of creatures. So when they were passing through the area again, that guy was following them, but those moles also attacked him. As then again one of the big things that for the future. As then he just goes into a fight them. He kills one of them, and then like their mother or the queen or the leader jumps in and goes into a fight with them. So the killers are able to go back to a circle, but then the little boy that was being carried notices that there are more people over there being chased by plant monster. And then we just kind of get like a montage sort of deal where we see them saving those guys. Then we go see them saving people from some kind of weird virus zombie thing. Then we see them escaping from some other monster. We even see a kaiju in there somewhere. I think that was before they got to the troll guy. But needless to say, they managed to came back with a pretty sizable number of people. As then the people who were there, I guess the informants, came there to inform Zach that, oh, we have even worse news. You know our king, the idiot who for some reason who thought splitting up all of our best sorcerers and heroes apart to teleport people to bring to our different world? Yeah, he now also got a disease from a different world. Our healers are currently trying to treat him and some other people, but now we just have to have them quarantined. Jokes write themselves on that thing. And then Zach's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I have even one of the colors, Mazia, like, everywhere we turn to, we have enemies. As in the other, as the other guy tells him to shut up, to keep it down on that. As then we have, even, I'm just reacting like, everywhere we go, there are enemies that are as powerful as demons. Means new enemies just pop out, like everything's an enemy essentially. And then we have Hollow realizing something as he thinks to himself, and he doesn't tell anyone, but he's still kind of processing through it. Again, it's said that Hollow isn't like smart. That he's more again like a protagonist. He's not the smartest, but if they're dumb or smart, if they're normal intelligent or dumb are two very different things. So you have to wonder where do they fall under. But Hollow realizes something that most of our protagonists I don't think would ever realized. But regardless, Zack has to then be like, oh shit, alright, call all of the people who are kinda in charge. I doubt the final panel of chapter 3 really had everyone that was still around. I think it was probably just the ones who are the best warriors or the ones who are like the most gonna help. Or the ones who want to participate in it. Again, it's kind of difficult to say exactly where things are going. As he tells them, alright, we need to work together so we can overcome this. So we need to exchange information. And that's where we are in the storyline. And there are and this story, while it's relatively simple, this story does leave a few things to discuss. For example, the natural enemy thing. That's something that's being kept there. The big mystery that's never really has yet to been revealed what it truly is. No, it's not like I think a big lore thing or something. It's more a theme of the series with the thing. Now, the way I see it, this could either be like everything is a natural enemy to humans. Humans have to overcome pretty much everything to survive, which makes sense if you really think about it. Like humans had to evolve. We had to become better be able to survive and develop all that. And as much as people like to, let's be real here, self-hate humanity, it's the best way to describe it. Like, alright, we needed to do a lot to come this far, and you guys give us credit for that. Unlike other things that just, I guess, kinda were attacking. So I do wonder if that's gonna be kind of the situation here. Although since we're dealing with so many different periods of time and different locations, it also could be reference. Or the natural enemy could be something more innate to humanity. Remember, while we had Carla's group and Zakara cooperating with no real issues, you cannot deny the fact that one popular things that is with humans' natural enemy is human greed and all that type of stuff, and humans' lust and desires. Like humanity is its worst enemy for a reason in all of series. So you do have to wonder if that's also gonna be what's gonna be revealed. Or maybe it's gonna be something like despair, because one thing about Hollow Sword is that it only reacts to when you have a strong spirit. That's the thing with Hollow. He has strong spirit. That's why he was able to cut the truck with the blade being destroyed. So it does raise to the question if that's gonna be the case, but we don't know yet. We are going to have to wait and see on that front how that's gonna develop. Or maybe the theme could also be that humanity will unite itself when in a crisis. Like, yeah, things are going bad, and humans are gonna, not gonna betray and all that stuff each other when it's peaceful. But in crisis like this, this is a century doomsday situation. Like, I cannot stretch to you all how much the stakes and the threat level is established in this series. Well, other series, it feels like pretty much almost nothing can defeat the heroes. Here, it's literally like the heroes can't do shit against the villains, essentially. But regardless, they're gonna exchange info what and one and I'm assuming what they're gonna do is they're gonna find ways that they all can like help defeat one another's enemies, similar to how the spellcasters were able to defeat the robots, while the Doom guys were able to defeat the demons. But for the bigger enemies, I think what they're gonna do is have them fight amongst themselves. Because the thing that Hollow realizes that every time those giant, like those who they can't hope to even scratch forces come, they pretty much try to slaughter one another as soon as possible. Like as soon as I cannot stretch how as soon as they've seen one another, they just start attacking one another. Like the robots just got away of the demons, and they were already a blasting attack and trying to kill them, even though the demons were essentially not giving a shit about them and help them kill humans. While the giant moles immediately attacked the giant troll as soon as they were in their area. So yeah, the big ones, the monsters, the enemies, pretty much fight one another more than anything. And there are even zombies I don't think would have any difference. The kaijus, I don't know if they would really work. The trolls just seem. I wouldn't be surprised they're like weird troll creatures or whatever they are gonna be. Are just gonna kind of seem to be like alone more or less. Maybe it's gonna be some kind of group thing, but for now it seems like it was just one guy. Although that guy did say he had a whole big hole, so I'm not certain if that's implying that he's collecting people and feeding them to the rest of his kind, or if he's just eating them himself because he was eating what I'm going to assume was the father of that family. But yeah, things are not looking good. But yeah, heroes are fucked, but the monsters don't really seem to have any kind of coordination. I mean, the humans, pretty much as soon as they possibly could, kind of became, joint forces, or at least kind of all saw, oh shit, we have to stay together. Like, people saw a character that was functional and there were humans there, immediately go there and help one another. Immediately go. Like, we see everyone kind of helping each other as soon as possible. So yeah, we see that. So it's definitely that humans are more coordinated than other creatures, which I feel like could also be the natural enemy of these worlds. Is gonna be one, not these beasts. It's just everyone as themselves is gonna kill each other. Now, so you also pointed out that what if the monsters start to unite? What will humanity be able to do to them? Which the answer is they're fucked. I mean, they can't do shit. Like the big, strong, powerful ones aren't even being affected by things that are effective against their type. But the thing is, I don't see the robots teaming up with anything that's organic. Zombies, zombies do not work with anything. The demons seem to so far be the only real coordinating ones. Like I could see them subjugating other monsters like the moles and the giant orcs and stuff. Maybe even the kaiju's, but the rest are like, I mean, the plants, yeah, the plant monsters. Well, again, I don't. They kind of fall into the same kind of groups as robots and zombies kind of creatures. So I don't see them like coordinating. Some certainly, but for now, I don't think that's where we are going. Now, while this is all the praise and all the things I have for the series, there are a few issues I have. One thing is, how much are we gonna be able to explore these armies? Because all of these armies or forces, everything is kind of like the way it's kind of set up. It's basically like if shonen battle manga was a thing, but about like the heroes that can surpass their limits every single fucking time. That's kind of how things are going. So I do wonder how much of our structure are we gonna be able to do it. Like, how much of the 47 Demon Kings are we going to be able to see? And on that side, are we going to get some of the payoffs? For example, that girl that was best friends with Hala when they were training, will she come back or will it be, resolved? Because it was mentioned in the newspaper that, well, in the letter they got about status reports from other heroes, that she had a battle that was, I think it was something about being about equal or something, but then her status was disappeared and she failed to defeat the Demon King. So all they know is that Demon King isn't dead, but her status is unknown. They couldn't confirm that she's dead. Something that the other ones they could at least confirm, or at least confirm what happened. Like, I think one who was like a pretty boy was dead. He got mentally broken and is now like a potato. Then there was another one who was brainwashed by a demon and is now a demon himself. So yeah, I do wonder how much of a payoff we're gonna have on that side. Another problem is that I don't really see how we're gonna be able to reach the end goal because everything is kind of just there. And for the most part, the other monsters, until they see one another, they can at least kind of keep to their own areas. I mean, granted, it's debatable how long they're gonna stay that way. I mean, the moles and those other animals just seem to kind of go with the territory. The kaiju just seems to be moving around. The zombies are zombies. I mean, watch Walking Dead and you'll know they just kind of move wherever there's the sun or something. Thing. But yeah, the demons and all that type of stuff is kind of, it's unlikely they would really like cooperate unless if the demons like all put their forces together so they can handle that themselves. That's honestly the only solution to it, that the demons kings only join forces and then start subjugating depending on what kind of creature it is. That's the only like team up I can see from the natural enemies side of things. But I don't really think they're gonna do that because of how separate they all are. I mean, remember the reason why they had to send all the spellcasters and everyone around the world was because their demon forces were all around the world, for God's sakes. But yeah, that's my concerns for the series. But but those concerns are right now very minor, and I am definitely curious about to see more about it. So yeah, and with that, I'm just gonna ask you, what did you think of the series? Were you aware of Versus before this video? What do you think is going to happen in the future of this series? And then how do you think it's gonna play out? Anyways, leave all that in the comments below. No, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time. Goodbye.